How do we simplify y raised to 4 or y to the fourth power over or divided by y squared? How do we simplify this? This is basically writing y 4 times y, and y. That's why a wise man said before, you need to cancel similar, okay, similar items. So what's left? So you have y and y there, right? So it's like that. So just remove the matching y. So we have y here, a match, another match. So you're left with this. Okay. So what's your answer right here? So your answer right here is simply y squared. Okay. That's it. Okay. This is just a recap. Now, but what if it's y over? Sorry. What if it's y raised to 100 over y is to 10? Do we need to write 100 y's and 10 y's? No, right? So how do we do this in the easiest way, or the easiest way? Okay. What do you think? What did we do with the indices? What do you think we did to get 2?
Just divide the numbers like the answer is y10.
No, let's go back here. What do you think? What did I do to get 2? What did I do with 4 and 2? Hmm? Okay, so in this case, okay, if you have similar variables, for example, y and y, okay, so the easiest way to answer this is, okay, wait, let me go back here. Okay, so y is equal to 4 minus 2. That's why it's y squared. Okay, so just subtract the indices, right? That's the technique there. Subtract the indices. Okay, so 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Just that. Okay, so if we are given y raised to 100 divided by, let's say, y squared, what do you think is my answer here? Anyone?
y98.
Okay, y raised to 98.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, remember this, that when you divide similar terms, you subtract their indices. Okay, so 100 minus 2 gives you 98. Okay, that's the basic of this chapter right here. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, so let's say this is my example 1. So let's example 2. Let's say, what if I have x is to 10. Okay. Okay, wait, what do you think is my answer here?
Wait,
x8
X,
y
Okay.
8 y
2 x8 y 2.
x8
What?
y 2.
Y squared, right? Okay.
Yeah, y square, yeah, y square.
Okay, that's it. Okay. That's how because the key in algebra is you need to practice a lot. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's have one more. So let's have. Okay, so what do you think is the answer here? We have M, N, and O.
I know the
Okay, so
answer.
what's your answer? Okay, so what's your answer here?
M square n
Okay.
cube
M
O only O. Just like
Are you sure?
O1. Yeah, O1 O.
What is 5 minus 5?
Oh, 0.
To the power
Zero.
of 2 and n.
0, right? So
Yeah.
just that.
And O.
So just this. Okay.
Oh, so the O disappears too,
Okay.
since there's no
Because
numbers. There's
yeah,
no
yeah, because any number, remember this, raised to 0 is equal to 1. Remember this class, okay? Because O raised to 5 minus, let's say, this is 5 minus 5, right? So it will become, let's say, x raised to 0 is equal to 1. Just that, okay? You can even type this in your calculator right now. Let's say you type 9 and then raised to 0. It will give you 1. Any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay? Even though it's, let's say, 100 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Okay? Alright, so that's it. That's why O here, it's not 0, it's 1. But in algebra, we don't write that anymore, right? So it's simply
Oh, so
cancelled.
okay.
Alright? Okay. If the indices are exactly equal, or yeah, equal, so just cancel those, okay? It's gone. Yeah, but it's not 0, it's 1. Okay? So that's your answer for this. Okay? Alright, so let's have few more questions before we go to the actual questions. Okay. So this is example number 3. Okay, let's have example number 4. Okay. So what if now, let's say I have raised to 5 divided by x raised to 7. Oh, what do you think is my answer here now for number 4?
X negative 2.
All right. X raised to negative 2, right?
Yeah.
But in mathematics, you cannot express your final answer with a negative index. So how do I make that index positive? Hmm. So to make that index positive, I'll just put it in the denominator, and then that's my answer. Okay? Because basically this is over 1, right? So to make this positive, you put it here in the denominator. It's like you get the reciprocal of this, and then that's it. Okay? So 1 over x squared. Okay? So let's have one more. Let's have more questions. For example, let's see x y squared over x raised to 4. Okay, so how about this? Anyone?
X negative 1, y negative 3.
X.
Okay.
Is it
X
possible to get
1,
negative?
1 divided by
So x raised to negative 1 and y is raised to what?
Negative 3?
negative 3.
Okay. But again, we cannot express our final answer with negative indices, right? So what should we do? We just
Oh,
get the reciprocal of this. So it becomes 1 all over, okay, x and then y cubed. Okay. So that's your answer for this. Oops. Okay. This one. This is your answer. Okay. Alright, so let's have another example. Class, we're just doing drills before we go to the actual questions. Alright.
Yes, mister.
Okay. So let's have. Wait. Alright, how
teacher
about
may
this
go
now?
to it first.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So how about now? So what's your answer for this? For number 6?
I think I know. Wait.
Okay, so Sam. So A
A
is to
is
what?
negative 2 first.
And then how about B?
B square.
Okay, B squared. Now what will happen with this, with our final answer? Because we cannot have this. So what happens with this?
1 divided by A square, B square.
Okay, so it becomes B squared over A squared. Just that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, the longer way of writing this is 1 over a squared times b squared, right? But then if you combine this, it will be just this one,
Oh
okay?
yeah.
Right? So you can just write it like this. It's like just putting this at the bottom of a b squared, just that, okay?
Hmm.
Oops.
Okay.
Okay, okay, so maybe two more questions and then we can discuss the questions in the book, okay? Okay, just two more questions. Because dividing numbers, you won't have any problems dividing numbers. If there's a number here, the only tricky part is what if you have now indices? I mean, yeah, indices. Okay, so let's have x. Okay, so can someone answer this? Number 7. Okay,
X cube,
okay, so that's x cubed.
y negative 5.
Y is negative 5. How about z?
And then no,
No
No
because
more z,
Z's.
right?
more z.
So it's basically cancelled out, right? Because it has the same. So what is my final answer? Because I cannot have this.
Is it 1 divided by x cube y 5?
Okay, how does it work? Okay, so x
One.
cubed,
Oh.
so x cubed here remains because this is again this is over 1, right?
Yeah.
All whole numbers has 1 as their denominator. So x cubed remains here. Okay, what happens now with y raised to 5? I mean negative 5. So it now goes to the denominator. Okay, so that's your answer for this. Okay, so again, the longer way of writing this is x cubed times 1 over y raised to 5. Okay, this is the right way. But then, this is okay, this is the final answer. Because when you multiply this, you will get this, right? Because x cubed times 1 is x cubed. And then 1 times y. Okay, so just that. Okay, okay, I think already. So let's answer, let's do page 145 now. Okay. Okay, so I'm on page 145. So let's simplify some questions here. Okay, so I got 3x y cubed over. Okay, so what do you think is my answer here? Anyone?
Um.
Okay,
Wait,
start
hold
with the numbers first. Okay, so
on.
what is 3 divided by 9? Or 3 over 9?
Three. Wait. 19.
You can use your calculator if you want. What is 3 over 9? That is simply
Three.
1,
Wait, what?
1 thirds, right? In simplest form, right?
Oh, it's in fractions. Oh,
Yes, right? Okay. How about x? What will happen with x? So
just x, right? Or
what is the answer for x? So we have x here divided by x raised to 4
oh,
from our previous examples. Anyone? Okay, x here becomes x raised to negative. Okay, let's just make a, let's just draw a longer straight line. Okay, So what happens with x? X here becomes x raised to negative 3, right? Because it's 1 minus 4. Okay, how about y? What will happen with y? What's your answer with y? Hmm? So 3 minus 2 is y. So to get the final answer, okay, so this is simply, okay, so what do we need to do with this? Because we cannot have a negative index in our answer. So we need to move this here in the denominator, okay? So if we move this in the denominator, what happens to y? So it's just left there. So y over 3x raised to 3. So that's your answer for that question. Okay. So do you have any question, class, for this one? Sec 2? Sam, do you have any question?
Wait, let me see this.
It's the same thing like what we did a while ago. This one. Okay.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's simple.
okay. Okay, so let's have letter B. Okay. So let's have letter B. Now letter B, so we got 28x cubed and then x plus y squared. Class, always look for common terms, okay, in your numerator and denominator. So 63 and then x. Okay, how about this now? This is trickier compared to the previous question. Hmm. All right, so let's answer this, and then after this, we're going to answer some questions from exercise 6A. Okay, so how about this one? So always start with the numbers. So 28 over 63. What's the simplest form of that? Okay, so it's equal to 4. Okay, 4 over 9, right? So 4 over 9. Okay, what happens with x cubed and x? What's your answer here? What is x cubed divided by x? Sec 2.
X cubed.
Anyone?
Like
Sir,
3.
Yes.
three.
Mr.
3.
Mr. I have a question. You forgot to like put x plus y 4.
I mean 2, sorry.
What's that? Oh, okay, it's 4. It's not just, okay. So this is 4.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, so, okay, thanks, Sam. How
yeah,
do you
yeah.
divide this? What is x cubed divided by x? Sec 2. What is x cubed
Oh,
divided by x?
x
3.
across 1 and then the upper one x square.
Okay, x squared, right? X squared. Because what? 3 minus 1, right? Okay, what happens with y squared? Does it have a pair in here?
9y square.
No, I mean, does it have a pair here?
No,
Y. Do we have a y here? So
no.
y squared here remains here. So we just write it again. Okay.
9y square.
Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now what happens with y? I mean x plus y squared and then x plus y raised to 4. Okay. What is your answer here? So 2 minus 4 gives you x plus y raised to negative 2, right? Because 2 minus 4 will give you negative 2. Okay. But then we cannot have a negative exponent. So what should we do with x plus y raised to negative 2? We should put it in the denominator. Okay. So we only move this. Okay, so let me rewrite this. So this is now 4x squared all over 9y squared times x plus y squared. Yeah, okay, so just that. Okay, so that's your answer for this. Okay, so what is 8 divided by 12? Or what's the simplest form between uh, 8 over 12? It's 2/3, right? So 2/3. Okay, so 2/3. And then what's x raised to 5 divided by x cubed? So that is x squared, right? How about y divided by y raised to 4? So that is y negative 3, or y raised to negative 3. And then again, for our final answer, we cannot have a negative index. So what happens here? From the numerator, we just put it to the denominator, and then that's it. It makes it positive. So 2x squared divided by or over 3y cubed. So that's your answer for letter A. Do you have any question, class? Okay. All right, how about letter D? So letter D, or in your case, letter B. Okay, so what is 9 over 27 in simplest form? Hmm? That is simply equal to 1/3, right? Okay, wait, let me write. So that is 1/3. And then what is x raised to 4 divided by x squared? So that is simply x squared here, because 4 minus 2 is 2. And then, how about, sorry, this is y cubed. So what should we do with y cubed here? Since it doesn't have any pair here in our numerator, so we just basically write this again here. So it's y cubed. And then what is the answer here? X minus y cubed divided by x minus y. Okay, so this is basically 3 minus 1. So this becomes x minus y squared. So for your final answer, okay, x squared times x minus y squared all over 3y cubed. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay, did we get the same answer, class, for practice now number 1? Okay. Okay, Sam. Emily, your answers are all correct. Okay, Sam, correct.
I think I
Wait,
did.
wait. Sam, why do you have another x? Because we already have divided the x down there, right?
But like I just divide x.
How do you divide? Like this, like from our previous questions. How do you divide this? How do you answer this again? Y raised to 100 divided by y squared.
Oh yeah. Sorry. My bad.
It's equal to y raised to 98, right? So
Yeah.
what did we do? We just subtract the indices, right? So same with our questions here. We just subtract our indices. So 5 minus 3 gives us 2.
Oh yeah, my
And then
bad.
this
Sorry.
is 1 minus 4, that's negative 3. But then we cannot have a negative exponent or a negative index, so we move it to the or to our denominator. And then that's why this is your final answer. Okay? All right. So do you have any question, class? Okay. All right. So this is letter A. So we have 4x raised to 4 uh, divided by or over 12x raised to 5 y. So look at the numbers first. What is the simplest form of 4 over 12? So basically, that is one, one, 1/3, right? Okay. And then looking at x, what is x raised to 4 divided by x raised to 5? So basically it's x raised to negative 1, correct? Because 4 minus 5 is equal to negative 1. Always begin subtracting from the numerator and then denominator. So 4 minus 5. That's why you have negative 1 here. How about y? Does it have a pair here? Nothing, right? So y is, y just remains here. So just 3. Okay. So, what's your final answer? Because you cannot have, again, a negative index here. So what should we do? We should put it back here in the denominator. So that is equal to, so what's left here, by the way, if we move this? So we're just left there with 1. Okay. Okay, so this is just 1 over 3x y. So that's your answer. Okay. See, I don't have any more x here. Because when you divide 1, okay, one of these two will be missing or will be gone, will be removed. Okay, so that's it. Okay, that's for letter A. Now for letter C, what is the simplest form of 23 over 69? So that's basically, is it 1/3 as well? Okay, so it's also 1/3. And then, how about Q? So since this is it, since we have common variable, so what is Q cubed divided by Q? So this is simply Q squared. Okay, and then how about R divided by R cubed? So 1 minus 3 equals negative 2. Okay, again, this is R and then R cubed. So this is 1 minus 3 is negative 2. How about S? So since it doesn't have any pair in your numerator, it just remains here. Okay, so our final answer here is q squared, and then what happens with r squared? R raised to negative 2. So we just put it back here in the denominator. So this is 3r squared and then s. Okay, so that's your answer for letter C. Take note of this class. So I omitted 1. Okay, so I removed 1. Okay, but we know that there's still 1 there. But in algebra, we don't need to write this. And then again, since we have a negative index, we should move this to the denominator. So therefore, this is your final answer. Okay. And then letter E.
Mister,
Okay.
is my answer for C correct?
Alright. What's your answer?
My answer is
Q squared,
3r squared.
3
Yeah,
r.
I think
Oh,
my answer
it's
is correct.
correct. Yeah, yours is correct. Okay, letter E. Let's have letter E. So what is 15 over 75? Hmm? What's the simplest form of 15 over 75? Is it the 1/3 again? Oh, sorry, 1/5. Okay. So it's 1/5, right? So 1/5. Alright, so let's look for a pair. So a divided by a squared. What do you get? This is a raised to negative 1. And then, okay. So since we have b raised to 4 here, and it doesn't have any pair here, so we just rewrite b raised to 4. So b raised to 4. And then how about c? So we have c cubed divided by c. What do we get? So this is 3 minus 1. So this is c squared. Okay. So let's simplify our answer. So we cannot have this negative index here. So we need to put this here on the denominator. Okay, so for my final answer, it's just c squared all over 5a b raised to 4. So that's my answer.